Hello and welcome into the 2024 Heart Football Media Day. I'm your host today, Heart correspondent Jillian Carroll Latrinko. We are excited to learn all about and just check in with the guys at Culver-Stockton College as they are preparing for their upcoming season. We are joined by head coach Tom Sally, and we also have student athletes Kendall Fowler and Ryan Yabby with us today. First of all, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to jump in. Coach, let's start with you. Year 8 coming up for you as head coach of your alma mater, which is so cool. How excited are you and your staff for this year's squad?
We're super excited. We had a little bit of a tough year last year, and we asked our guys to do some things different, to make changes, and guys like the two guys on the screen really stepped up and pushed themselves and their teammates to be better men, to be better players, to be better teammates, to be better students, and it really worked out for us, and it's fun when you got a group of guys that just does things the right way. And that's what these guys have put us in a position to have, is a group of dudes that do things the right way. Um, they show up to stuff. People don't miss stuff. We have a 3.0 team GPA, and having guys like that at the head that just, this is what you're striving to be, is a fun thing for us.
Talk to us a little bit about those guys, Kendall and Ryan. What do they bring to the team, both on and off the field?
A lot. Ryan, he got hurt last year, and so we missed him a lot. And so I threatened him that he's not allowed to ever get hurt again. But he's coming back. He had a really, really strong offseason, got a lot stronger in the weight room, became much more of a leader. And that's something that he's not overly comfortable with, I don't think, all the time, and so him stepping out of his comfort zone to do something that he knew was important for our team is something that is pretty impressive, and not all kids are willing to do. So super proud of him for doing that. And then Kendall has been with us now for, this will be his 5th season, and he sticks around in the summer, and he's over at the house with our family, and he graduated, so he's a grad transfer, and he could have walked away last year, and he could have decided, I'm ready to start life, and he's a 3.7 student, and he can go get a job anywhere he wants and go do anything he wants, and he decided to come back, and it's something that I'll forever be grateful for, and I can never let him know how much we appreciate that. And so being able to see him come back, where finally maybe he gets to kind of be the dude, we've had a lot of really good players here, and everybody kind of has to wait their turn a little bit on defense sometimes. And it's going to be fun for him to have a chance to kind of be our leader, emotionally, ability wise, on and off the field, raising expectations for guys, all that different stuff that he just excels at. He's an awesome guy to have around.
All right, Kendall, coming in your direction to start. You're going to be the dude this year. We just heard it. Talk to us about your journey, how you got to Culver-Stockton.
Well, they found me in Birmingham, Alabama. They showed up to my school once or twice. Then they showed up to my house. I was like, man, these guys are kind of weird. I mean, but no, but then they just, it made me feel loved and made me want to be at this place that I've never really been to. Like, I'm from Alabama. I haven't really been up north a lot. So, like, when I first got up there, walked around campus, seeing some of the guys that were already there and just talking to some of them, like, I feel like this is a place that, like, I could eventually call home, which I do call now my second home. Obviously, like Coach said, I stay over during the summer. Like, I spend more time up here than I do back home in Alabama. So, I mean, then I just came out of my shell early freshman year, had to get around campus, got involved in a lot of activities around campus, stuff like that to, like, stay busy. So, like, I mean, it was an awesome, truly experience. Like Coach said, I'm coming back for my 5th year. I knew that, like, from the year we went 8-3, like, those veterans, those 5th years that came back to help build a better program, they want to leave it better than winning the way they found it. And that's, like, something that really stuck with me. And I was like, and, like, I've talked to them all last season and everything. I was like, this is something that I have to do to pass it on, pay it forward, because that's what they would want me to do. And that's what was given to me. So I feel like I have to leave it in a better place than what I found it in.
You talked about some of the activities off the field. Last year, you were a member of the Heart Association of Student Athletes representing your school. Talk to us about what that meant to you to serve on that important committee.
Oh, it was a very huge honor when they came to me and told me, because it was my second year, that they wanted me to do it again. I was like, I would love to. The connections and the people that I've met from all the different other schools in our conferences, and us keeping in touch. Us, like this past year, we did like a media challenge where if you went to another school, you meet up with that other hostel member and you guys take a picture. So like I went to like one of our women's volleyball game, and I went to a basketball game, and then Zach over at Benny came to the football game. We played Benny at Benedictine. Just stuff like that. Just seeing them outside of like their sport and us going to support each other at each other's sports, not even it not being our sport that we play, was a really truly fun experience. And like I said, and like the activities we did, I really love making the commercial that we did this year, the last year, my bad. And it's a really cool experience. I really encourage like for people that's taking it over from me and like future people like take full advantage of it because it really is a great true experience.
And Ryan, coming your way, first and foremost, wishing you the best as you're returning from your injury. Talk to us a little bit about maybe how you're doing and then just what the opportunity to play at Culver-Stockton means to you.
Doing great. I've never felt better. Like the injury was just something I think that made me a lot mentally stronger and made me appreciate what I'm doing. Um, and then what was the second part of that question? I apologize.
No, you're fine. It was a lot. Just what it means to you to play for Culver-Stockton. You know, when you're playing football in college, there's options, but you're at Culver-Stockton. So talk to us about, you know, the opportunity to play in this program.
I'm very grateful. Coming into work with a great group of staff and I think a younger group of coaching staffs from when I was getting recruited. I think this was a younger group and just a group that I feel like I can connect. I think here at Culver, it feels like a family. Like I can walk into that office any day of the week and sit down with my coach, hang out with him for 30 minutes, then I can go talk to another one of the coaches, a coach that I don't see that often, and still sit down, have a chat with him about something, then go into Coach Sally's office and sit down and talk to him. It's a very welcoming experience, and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to uh, learn under these coaches.
And Ryan, another one for you. Would you consider yourself a leader on this squad? And if so, which I'm betting you would, talk to us about your leadership style.
So I do consider myself a leader. I try to go out there and like get on my guys' like butts about stuff, but I try to lead from the front is kind of my idea. Like if I'm going to ask somebody to go ahead and do something, I better have already done it or be doing it with them. I think it's like a good way to put it in the weight room is if I'm asking a guy to go up and weight, I better also be going up and weight. If I'm asking a guy to uh, like give more effort during a play, I better be giving twice as much effort that I'm asking that player to give. Lead from the front. I don't like the idea of the do as I say, not as I do. I think you should be doing what you say.
And Coach, coming back your way, obviously you have two impactful players with us here today, but if you were to name one or two more on each side of the ball, who are some of those impact players this year?
Yeah, it's hard because we're really, really excited about a ton of guys. A few guys that have stuck out in the off season. On offense, Demarion Cobb, you know, he's another guy who this offseason has really stepped up. You know, sometimes being a leader is hard because you have to call out your friends. You know, it's easier to call out a guy that you don't really know, but having to call out your friends and ask them to do stuff is pretty hard. He's done everything this offseason to show that he wants to be a leader, that he's ready to step up and take a huge role inside of our offense. You know, worked on a lot of stuff this offseason, not only running the ball at running back, but really worked on his pass receiving skills to be able to make plays there and just the ability the excitement for me to watch him step up and push people and how excited he is to come back and kind of compete is a really, really cool thing. You know, And skill wise, we're a lot different than we were last year. I think we'll have a new starter at every skill spot on offense. And so it'll be interesting to see how everybody comes in and kind of gels, and we're really excited about their ability. They're guys that we think can come in and make big plays at any time. And it's maybe something that we lacked a little bit last year, was being able to be explosive. And so we feel like we have a few guys that can come in and make big plays for us on offense. And then our O-line is a year older and a year stronger. Nobody on our O-line will have to not play after this year. Everybody has multiple years left. And so having them guys this offseason kind of grow together and become a unit was fun. And then so on offense, we're really excited. And then on defense, we got a bunch of guys. Our D line, there'll be a bunch of new players there, but a bunch of guys that are hungry and have huge effort, and I think are going to surprise a lot of people with their ability, their speed and stuff like that. At backer, we got a couple guys. One of them, Caden Thomas, who will be a redshirt freshman for us, who we think can help elevate our defense. He's a big kid and he runs really, really well. So having him out there running around and putting him in a position to make some plays in the open field for us, we're really excited about. And then in the defensive backfield, there's 5 guys I can talk about: Carlos Price and Rob Jones and Tahim Morrell and Sonny Jenkins and Ching and Ty. The list goes on and on. It's almost, we feel like it's an embarrassment of riches there a little bit. So, in your coaching career, you're always going to have ups and downs, and you're always going to have things that go great in seasons and bad in seasons. But our kids had every opportunity to jump ship and run away. And the thing that was so awesome to me and very rewarding, and I can't stop mentioning it, is they could have all jumped ship. It's an easy way out now. College athletics is not a loyalty thing anymore. It's what's best for me right now. And these guys decided against that a little bit. They decided they ain't going to take the easy road and run away from something that didn't come easy to them. They decided they are going to stick together. They are going to work hard as a group. They are going to take care and love each other. And we say those words every day. But these guys are really starting to understand what that means, and that it's okay to say. And so for me as the head coach, for our staff, for the people associated with our program, for all our guys, it's just, I'm beyond excited for what we got going on.
All right, I'm going to take a
long
step.
answer.
No, you're good. You're good. You're passionate about your team. I love it. I'll take a step aside and let our other media members that are present share some questions. If you don't mind stating your name and your media affiliation before you start, and then please ask your questions. And Mike, we will start with you if you don't mind.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mike Thomas from Quincy Herald Wig. Coach, you mentioned you had new skill players in offense. How's your quarterback situation doing?
We will have a new quarterback this year. The young man who was our quarterback last year, he's not part of our program anymore. And so right now our starting quarterback is a kid. His name is Drake Day. He's a transfer. And so he came in the spring and practiced all spring. And it's one of those things. The guys who are here, and whether they're quarterbacks or other guys, when transfers come in, they're like, oh, transfers, and it takes a little bit for guys to buy into those dudes. But I think through watching how much he wanted to work and seeing him out on the field all the time, and seeing him in the meeting room and seeing him in here asking questions all the time, really alleviated a lot of that concern from the players. And so we're really excited about him. But we got some guys returning that played in a lot of football last year that are going to be in line to compete with him right now. And then we got a couple young kids that we're bringing in that we think can do different things for us that can be really, really helpful this season.
Do you feel solid? You mentioned Demary and Cobb. What about some of your receivers, running backs? How are you feeling about them?
I feel, our running back room is we feel is really good. we got a young kid, Nick Jarrett, at running back, who is only about 5'6", but I mean, he's a tank. He weighs 205 pounds, and he's might be, if he's not the fastest kid on our team, he's one of the fastest kids. And he's just a little bowling ball. And you can ask Kendall, he's hard to tackle because he's low and he gets lost back there. And he's not one of them little kids that you grab with one arm and just can rip down. If you try to do that, he's just going to run through you all day. So we're excited about him, and we got a couple other guys in that room that can really step up for us, we think. And at receiver, we had a transfer coming in this semester. We're really excited about Kyle, and he's going to make a bunch of plays for us, I think. We got a couple other transfers coming in, and then we have returners like Gavin Gardner and Bobby Ezzard and a couple other guys that we think are in a position to make huge steps in their career, And tight end is a huge spot for us too. We signed Thomas Shue at the semester, and we got 2 freshman kids that we got coming in that we think can really make a big difference for us.
Awesome. Is defense kind of an area you think you're going to improve upon this year?
We better. But yeah, I tell people all the time, a big part of what happened last year is on me. Why? Because when we first took over the program, I tell guys all the time, we brought in a large group and they kind of took over the program. And when we took over the program, there was very little kids in the program. They came in, they were kind of the men, and they were here for 5 years. And they pretty much handled everything for us. And I got a little bit, not lenient, but relying on them to just handle things that I didn't teach the next group of kids to handle. And I did a terrible job at that as a head coach. And so the guys who are there now are taking accountability for everything, and they hold each other accountable. And there's leaders at every level of our group on defense now. There's kids that are seniors, and there's kids that are juniors, sophomore, and kids that are going to be redshirt freshmen that we think are to have taken leadership roles on that side of the ball. And so effort corrects a lot on defense, and I think the effort and the attitude and their ability is going to put them in a position to have a really good year.
Thanks a lot, Coach. That's all I have. I'll pass it on to Shane.
Shane Halsey, Muddy River Sports in Quincy. Coach, just talk about both lines of scrimmage, if you will, considering we have a defensive lineman and an offensive lineman with us. If you want to talk about those position groups a little bit. Okay,
I'll start with the defensive line first. We play a 3-man front, so we start 3 guys. It'll be Kendall, Highland, and Hinson are our 3D linemen. All returners, 2 of them going to be 5th-year seniors. One of them going into his 3rd year of college. So a lot of experience, a lot of playing time on there. So these guys, I think, will put us in a position to make a bunch of plays. And then we got a couple of young guys, Nick and Fanu and Wiggins, that can come in and rush the passer and do a few things that will put them in a position to make plays. And when you got a really good player on one side, like we do in Kendall, where we're a little bit spoiled in that, it makes the other guy's job a little bit easier because they're going to know where Kendall is all the time. They're going to know what he's doing. They're going to know how he's aligned. And so the other guy has to take advantage of his matchups. And so, but I think our D-line is in a position to be really good. And then our O-line, that's been one of the funnest things. You get Ryan back and he's playing center for us. I know that's not, he'd probably rather play tackle or guard where we let him pull a little bit more, but having him there and having him make the calls and be able to kind of set the middle of our offensive line is huge for us. I think he's one of the best in the conference for sure, if not in the country. And I've had some really, really good ones here. So I know what good looks like down there, and so he has the ability to be every bit of a player that them guys were, and he should receive all the accolades is the way I feel. But he's not the only one. We got Jace Waterman and Mason Hilke next to him on both sides playing guard. Jace took a lot of big steps this offseason. He lost a little bit of weight, made a little bit more fluid in his movements. He didn't lose any strength, which is a concern when you ask guys to lose a little bit of weight. And so watching him this year, and the thing about him is he's kind of the mean one, and so it's pretty important to have that guy run around and want to whack people a little bit late. And it's one of them things where as a coach, you're mad at him, but then you're happy with him at the same time. You know what I mean? It's a slippery slope. And then at tackle, we got a kid that'll be a redshirt freshman, Colin Howell, who received an opportunity in the spring to kind of find out if he could be a dude there, and really did a really, really good job. We put him in a position, we made it hard on him. We put him against Kendall a lot. We put him against Highland a lot. We didn't let him take plays off. We expected a lot out of him, and he did a great job. And then Jalen Dawkins, our left tackle, he'll be a 3-year starter now. Another kid that still has years left, even after this year. And so we're going to fight to keep him around a little bit. And he's been a good player and will continue to be a good player for us.
And the quarterback center relationship, especially when you have a new quarterback, you have a relatively new center. How have you seen that relationship develop over the course of the last several months?
Well, I think they get along pretty well. Center and quarterback kind of have to, don't they, Ryan?
Yes, coach.
All right. But them guys being on the same page, and the biggest thing you want your quarterback to feel is safe, right? And to feel like he can stand back there and throw the ball, when he holds it a little bit too long, or a step too long, or a tick too long, and still feel protected. And I think that the offensive line has put them in position, or put him and any other quarterback in a position to feel that, and so I think it's going good.
Ryan, I'll ask you the same question from your standpoint. How are things going?
To talk about, Drake or any of the quarterbacks, I get along with them all amazingly. I would call them all friends, actively hanging out with them outside of football, which is, I think, a really big thing. I think the relationship to understand that the guy behind me is, I give him the ball and then my job is just to keep him clean end of the day. So I think overall we get along great. And I think there is a lot of trust in him. He's always coming around us, like the offensive line, talking with us and hanging out with us outside of football. So I feel like I trust him to make a play, and I believe he trusts me to make sure he's able to make that play.
All right.
And the funny thing about the offense, I'm sorry, and the funny thing about the offensive and defensive line is that they're pretty unsung, right? The only time you talk about the O-line a lot of the times is if they get beat, if they protect that dude all day and we run for 150 yards and throw for 250 and win the game, the articles aren't about the offensive line. They're about the quarterback. They're about the running back. They're about the receiver. And so the unselfishness of those guys up front is pretty awesome there. And the same thing with the D-line. They all get, hopefully they get 5 sacks a game, Kendall. But, if they get 1 sack and 3 tackles and then do their job 55 other times to make sure 3 other people are making plays, they don't always get the credit for that. And so them 2 groups are super, super unselfish.
All right. And this will be the last one. Kendall, did you ever foresee yourself spending 5 of some of the most important years of your life in Canton, Missouri, of all places?
Can't say that I haven't. Like I said, the opportunity was brought on to me, and I just took it and ran with it. I wanted to get the most out of it as I could. Like I said, I got really involved around campus, and once again, the coaches made me feel love, and that's why I did want to come back for my 5th year. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be 2 years, done. Maybe football wasn't gonna be it, but it just kept pushing me to get better and better myself, and to make me a better man than I was before that I came in. So I really thank them for that, and that's why I owe them my all, and for all the years they can get all the years they can out of me. So because they helped me get to a place that maybe I never would have reached if I would have went to a different school or whatnot.
Actually, one more for you. When we talk about this defensive line, what are they like? What do what don't we see? And then the 3 hours that you're on the field, what are they like, in practice, off the field, hanging out, all that stuff?
Oh, great group of guys. They're really like eager to like. I know that when I leave, that they're going to be in good hands with the people that are behind me. Like you said, Nick Luster, just seeing how much he's worked out and dedicated so much time during the summer. It's like every other hour, like he's like doing field work or in the gym or something. Like Elijah Wiggins, same goes for him too. Just two complete guys that are really going to step up this season and for seasons to come. And, the whole group and whole room as a whole, they're always asking questions. They're always coming up, hey, can you teach me, help me work on this move? Or can you teach me this? Or how do you attack an offensive lineman when they do this to you? Like they're always asking questions, always want to get better. They're a very, very hungry young group and that are going to be soon veterans. And I wouldn't want to leave the D line with any other group of people.
All right, good stuff. I think I'm good.
All right, guys, I got one more for each of you, if you don't mind. Ryan, I'm going to come over to you for this one. So you open up the season against Mount Marty in just 30 days, if you can believe it. They barely walked away with the win over you guys last year. How exciting is it to start the year with a matchup like that?
I'm super excited about in the 2 games I got to play. It was one of them. And just knowing how that game ended, very sour taste in my mouth, having to go all that way there, just to have that heartbreak. I'm really excited for them to come to our house and get to see how we're playing our football, how we're going to play it a lot better. Just excited to get another chance at them, basically.
And then, Coach, real quickly, the Heart has implemented instant replay, coaches' challenges. How much do you think that will impact and hopefully improve football in the Heart?
Well, it's a pretty awesome thing. The biggest thing I think that's going to help our kids is we get the sideline replay tablets, and so our kids, after every drive, after the coach talks to them, we'll have to explain that. We'll be able to grab a tablet and really see what happened. So that's the biggest exciting part for me. They decided they weren't giving us challenge flags because they were scared I was going to throw it 35 feet in the air when I got mad at somebody. So they didn't want to give us those, but do you having the ability to do that at a school at our level is a big time thing, and it gives us an advantage. And as long as we do it the right way and don't count on it and just use it as a tool and not as the tool, I think it'll put us in a good spot.
And last one, Kendall, take it away for us with what are the big team goals this year? What are you guys going to do in 2024?
Mostly win. Last season was rough, and we really changed our identity this off season. Everybody really bought in, and like I've talked to like some of the teachers and staff, like everybody around campus has like seen a whole shift from our program over this last like 6 months. So I'm really excited for what we're going to bring this next season, and hopefully make a lot of people proud this season. So I'm really hopeful and glad to where this season is going to go and what it could do and where I'm going to leave it.
Awesome. Well, Coach, Kendall, and Ryan, wishing you the absolute best of luck in 2024. Also to Mike and Shane, thanks for participating in Media Day today. Just wishing you guys the best, Culver-Stockton, for 2024. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.